Hello, and welcome to Jadekine Gaming Presents the Observatory. My name is Bob, and this is the 63rd session of the Shadow Kingdom 5th Edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign. I'm joined here by Austin as Mary, Ryan as Mother June, Adam as Dr. Herr Wolfgang, and Nick as Maribel. And we're going to pick up with where we left off after defeating the evil sorceress, rolling yet another above 30 investigation check, and finding the hoard that you've boxed up and shipped off back to, where'd you go? Horse's Head or the Red Horse Inn?
Red Horses are base.
Yeah, where we have them.
Okay, so shipped back to the Red Horse Inn. So, you guys are standing there as the chests are being...
I'm going with them.
Okay.
Once they're loaded.
As the chests are loaded up onto the cart, or the carriage, and you get in, and it starts trundling off into the distance. What do the rest of you do?
When the sorceress died, did her body leave keys to like her condo?
You would have probably found keys, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, might as well go over there and search that.
Okay.
And steal all that stuff too. Well, what are you doing?
It's a furnished condo.
Yeah. What are you doing?
The apartment.
Mother June.
She's looking for something on the ground. God, give her a second.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and gather up all the boys who are remaining here in the bar in order to get them back home before
Cops show up.
Yeah, before any potential trouble comes to them. So I'm gonna get them in order and get them to head on back.
Okay.
In that case, I'll go with you. We can check our place out another time.
So, Mary, the wet blanket over here is shutting down the party.
What do you mean? We're still drinking.
Not here. Do it back at base.
You heard her? Grab all the pony cakes you can and let's go home.
And it's like, if you want to take stuff, do it now, and then get out.
Well, lads, you heard the lady. We're moving the party, so take what you can, because we're not coming back.
In a astonishing display of drunken ingenuity, tables become stretchers as they run off with a sizable portion of that which was left in the bar.
Yeah, exactly. Good job, boys. Good job.
You know we're probably going to own this place and have to restock it, right?
That is a tomorrow problem.
We're not necessarily convinced that we're restocking it to keep it a bar.
True.
It might be a manufacturing warehouse for a
It's like, tell you
alchemist.
what, come back tomorrow and ask me about how much I plan for the future.
You're going to have to speak real loud and then very quiet. Immediately afterwards, very, very quietly.
Let's see.
So do you head to the Red Horse, or do you head to the Horse's Head?
Are they the same thing?
No, they're not. You know that.
Red Horse is where we generally have our meetings. Horse's Head is where the boys hang out and party.
Yeah.
Where are you headed?
You guys didn't spend a lot of time there because someone wandered into the district and murdered everyone of influence in it immediately.
It's where our twin barkeepers are.
Yeah.
Yes, my fun joke.
Have I been able to build up a nice head of steam? These boys going to party hard?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll leave them to it.
You just sent them off with a whole bunch of free liquor. They have to pay at their bar.
Yeah. That's fine. I definitely don't want to be there for that.
You hear someone scream, "Let's break into Forrest's house!"
That's right!
As they run off.
I can't imagine, someone hasn't moved into Fort's house at this point.
Just a bunch of boom.
They're real drunk.
Not last we checked it.
Just a bunch of hoodlums showing up, yelling at you about how you're in the wrong house.
Just yell run.
Enough of them say it. They must be right.
But after I get them all off in that, I'm going to head back to the Balance Blades boss's house to make sure that Klaus and Molly are doing fine.
I'll go with you for that then.
Right.
There are some stragglers we might need
I
help
forgot
with.
about that. I've made you both roll. That seems cruel. I like Molly. You go ahead and roll for Molly's stealth.
Hey, it could have been really good. I did some good rolls last game.
Yeah, you're done for the month.
I had some really good rolls.
Well, it's a
Natural one.
See?
So
See what you
Klaus is sitting there talking the entire time, no matter how much Molly's telling him to shut up.
Well, Klaus is pretty jumped already.
No, he.
Oh,
never
no.
got
No,
a
he wasn't drunk. He's
Wounded.
Well, yeah, a little bit, but he's mostly hopped up.
he's raged and
Hopped up on heel juice.
raged and healed and da.
Adrenaline's a hell of a drug.
Okay, go ahead and roll another d20 for me.
Come on, natural 20. No, it's a 3.
That's a 3.
Okay. So as you guys are walking up to the house of the former leader of this former gang that you've just dismantled, you see blood splattered across the stones and the front door shattered.
Okay, go in.
Alright, as you walk in, perception check, I suppose.
Okay.
Or wait, what?
18.
You're 18? Okay, yeah, you hear it. So you hear deep breathing, like ragged, pained breathing coming from upstairs.
Someone's still alive upstairs.
23 on the perception.
You hear the same.
Okay, rush upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
When you get upstairs, there's Molly is just leaning against one of the walls, staring forward, just beat. Like, severe laceration across her side. Her hat appears to have been cleft in two. And just really pretty cut up and damaged. And then there's Klaus, who's lying on the ground, just breathing. That's like labored breathing. And he looks, as you get closer, you look down at him and that motherfucker fell asleep. The mom's just like, he freaked out when they threw the swords at me
Nice healing word.
and proceeded to beat the shit out of him. I just took a seat over here.
Is Klaus specifically a savage barbarian or whatever that takes multiple levels of exhaustion when he does that?
Frenzy?
Yeah, frenzy berserker.
Yeah, you only take the one per
Yeah.
use.
This is his second.
2 levels exhaustion ain't never killed no one.
I mean,
Was
well,
it 5 or 6 that kills him?
6.
I think it's 4.
Yeah, it's 6.
Although they do stack, and by the time
More-
you're getting 4, unless you just have an easy day ahead of you,
Yeah, you get a few.
Yeah, so he's
So they both get 9 from that.
okay.
Oh, all 4 of us get 9 from that. If you've got any damage on you.
I did have some left over.
And Molly, the cut on the side of her face starts healing up, and she's not bleeding anymore. She seems to be breathing a little easier.
I call carrying Molly. You can carry Klaus.
Mm-hmm.
Get in there, muscles.
I'm gonna hit her with another cure wounds though.
All right.
12 more.
Okay. She's breathing almost completely normally now. She stands up and just stretches and goes, "Everything is always so tense after the healing."
Yep.
Well, she walks over and just like kicks Klaus in the side and goes, "Get up!" And he didn't even wake up, and he went, "My fucking figures."
I'm just gonna pick him up and take him with me.
Just like she just looks at you and goes, "Forgot about the gloves." Klaus is like about 6'4", 6'5", big human, but just a very large, probably close to 300-pound man of pure muscle. And you just kind of
Yeah.
and start trudging off.
And
I
they did get.
don't know if I wrote it.
There
down.
are dead bodies in here.
Oh yeah, there's pieces of them.
Yeah. It's like I'll make myself useful.
Klaus made them divine.
Just bring those down to the basement.
Okay. So you take a bunch of trips and kind of find a thing to kind of wrap them up
blanket or
in.
something. Yeah.
I mean, there's pieces of them.
Yeah.
He literally ripped them apart.
Give me a moment while I drag these over. So,
Yeah, I mean, you're free.
yeah. So, go downstairs, go through the secret door, and go across the sewer to the other secret door and put them in the fridge.
Okay, so you walk down the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's a bunch of zombies stacking bodies right now.
Hand them the bag. Put these in. Can it? Just go with them and dump this in one of the drawers.
At this point, the drawers are like triple stacked because there wasn't enough drawers for the corpses you produced, and the zombies were given an order to put the bodies in the drawers.
The doctor will handle this.
This looks like someone else's problem.
Exactly.
Hey, a little squish body. You can
I mean,
still
to be fair, also, like, I think there are some of the stuff that was in drawers that was spilled out, because we mucked about with things there anyways.
Someone took the bodies out of the drawers previously, dragged them into the other room, and just left them there to rot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some monster.
Which really, if the goal is skeletons, you gotta do something to...
Kid, pretty sure that spell just makes the skin slough off.
No,
Gotta make it soft
they do
first.
a little spooky skeleton, and they dance out of it. They do a little shimmy, a little shake. It kind of looks like the Charleston, and they're now skeletons.
Yes, but head on back to the Red Horse.
Okay. So about 3 hours later for them, an hour and a half for you because you're on the cart.
But yeah, while we're going along, I'd ask Molly where to drop Klaus off as far as where he goes to bed.
Then you stay at the Headless
I don't-
Horse?
Just drop them at the Headless Horse. They'll take care of them.
Yeah, I don't actually know him.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll leave him with the Headless Horse boy.
Like,
then.
I know of him. We've interacted.
They've done missions together before.
Her and Klaus? No.
Weren't they on the investigation team down at the docks for Forrest?
No, she was burning down a restaurant.
Yeah, she was on my team.
Okay. Maybe we'll have to have Hammerstein go and profile everybody so we know where we have basic information on them.
He's like, we just drop him at the bar.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's where he stayed. At least it used to be where he was staying. He took over that other room.
It's like, so we'll go there. If not, maybe the twins know.
I'm sure someone there knows.
Yeah.
Although it is particularly fun when everyone there is real drunk and he's kind of their boss. Just kind of... Here you go.
Trying to think how bloody and messed up I am.
You spent...
I did take running around the city, dealing with stuff. Did take a frost, kind of cold.
You've been cleaner.
I don't know. It's like find a traveling carriage, you know, like a taxi.
Oh.
Yeah.
Taxi.
It's like, I'll give you gold to drive me here.
It's going to cost you more than that.
Yeah. Well, how much from the Balance Blade area over to the horse, the Red Horse?
Probably about 3 gold.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Because you're basically taking a carriage to the end of their route where they drop you off and give you to someone else, because otherwise they will have been running their horse for hours.
Yeah.
So you either have to pay for one guy for the entire night,
Mm-hmm.
because you're taking up most of his availability to make money.
Yeah. Well, here's all the money you would make anyways.
Yeah, pretty much.
So when I get there, I'm not sure if anyone else went with me, but if not, I'm sure that
I think you had 3 or 4.
yeah, I'm not sure if
boys.
they came with me or not. But if not, I can get Spartacus to get help with getting stuff, make sure everything safely gets up to the meeting room.
Yeah. So as you walk in with these chests and bring it up into the meeting room, and Spartacus kind of notices what it is, he goes, one moment. He walks over and just opens the door, and you hear like a squawk, and he just goes, "Get dressed," and
What?
closes it.
Wake up, Abbot. It's time to do your job.
He walks over and goes, "I'll stand guard."
All right.
Good man.
I was going to, but yeah, sure.
And as you walk out, you hear, What could it possibly... I have to count that? As he goes, yes, you do. Money's...
I turned to him and it's up. No, think about it differently. You get to count that. Think how many people would love to be counting that don't get to.
Yeah, Tom Sawyer, right in there.
See, this is a job for like an unseen servant kind of thing.
So as he walks in, you kind of hear quiet, "Don't you want to help me?" And just, money's dirty.
Have you seen how many hands touch that stuff? It's utterly filthy.
Oh yeah, that's true. Freaking Spartacus probably just uses a. God, what are those things? Those squares?
The chops?
Yeah, uses chops for his cash, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I found out those are also debit cards.
Yeah, it's basically magical debit cards is how I was kind of trying to do them.
I think we all missed that part. We thought they were bank keys.
They are. They're keyed to your account.
Mm-hmm.
You use your debit card to withdraw stuff from your account.
I think it's because they're just kind of big and unwieldy.
How big do you think they are?
Like that big.
No.
Evidently, they can be like pencil size.
I think I've always thought of the chops as essentially like the Japanese like name seals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought of it like a cube this big that had one side full of
No.
inky
Well, that'd be
things.
like a big seal. I figured they had small
Yeah,
ones, but even
like-
that,
like
dude, that's
lipstick
still
size.
pretty big.
Yeah, it's about lipstick size.
Yeah, once he told me they were debit cards, I thought of the Japanese seals too. Yes.
Okay, so you're back at the Red Horse Inn, or you go home, or what do you do?
I mean, I'll see if anything's needed. Wait for people to kind of get back here and for a little bit, but unless anything particular, if he's gonna manage security on it, then yeah, I'll end up going back home.
All right.
Could sit there and organize your dad from afar.
His dad?
Dad.
Dead. That makes much more sense.
Yeah, I'll probably at some point, not probably as soon as I should, but at some point check in and maneuver things manually as far as making sure the doors are at least closed.
Oh, they're closed.
What time is it? It's fairly late.
By
Oh.
this point, yeah.
Well, after doing that, I will go back to the home because that's also where the carriage goes, so I'll make sure it gets back there.
All right. So you hop back into the carriage for your short ride home.
Sure it's ready for the next day, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys head back.
Mm-hmm.
Mary, are you going back to the Red Horse, or are you going
Yeah.
to Horse's Head?
Yeah, I'm going back to home base.
Okay. So everyone is home.
Yeah.
Morning meeting time, or you have things that you want to do at night?
Bathing and using. I always forget that. Just as I was walking, using the cleaning stone to try to get most of the blood stuff out of the clothes.
As you touch it to your clothes, it just like a disgusting splat behind you.
Not my problem.
Just like everyone else who lives in a city.
Use the cleaning basin or whatever.
Yeah.
Spartacus got me, and
Alright, so. Morning meeting?
Dawn of a new day.
Mm-hmm. Odd.
so Saturday. Ooh.
Wait, no. No, Saturday is church day, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because horses race on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as you guys all get together and walk in, there's a very tired abbot with one of the chests. Excuse me, still at the table, and he pushes it to you and says, "Here's your cut." And inside that chest is 9,783 gold.
One thing to note, and it's probably based more on what you were thinking, or less on what you were thinking, more on what his math total numbers were for. Did you turn in any of the gold that was put in your bag of holding to be split with the cut, or did that just end up...
Oh, I don't know. I don't think that was counted, was it? By Abbot? Or was it?
Of the 45,500?
Yeah, so 45,000. Okay, so I would have had to turn in the sacks of gold in order for us to get that amount.
Oh, I thought it was 60,000, not 45. It was the whole number. I was wrong. I don't know why I thought that.
Yeah, so it's like for that math, then I would have had to turn in the sacks of gold. So yes.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because... Yeah, you would have.
No embezzling off the top for us.
I mean, we can make him redo the math if that's what you want to do, but...
No, get home, turn in more cash to tired Abbott.
Yeah.
Because she would have shown up hours after you.
I guess question for Abbott was so we got this money now. Are you aware, or what would we have to do to do like an internal financial audit of ourselves?
What do you mean?
To make sure that whatever our earnings are being used properly, basically.
Oh, you want to audit out all of your different lieutenants?
Yeah, essentially the money that's being spent and the money coming in, just so we have like a record of it. Or does he already have that stuff?
Oh, yes, he shows you the books.
Oh, okay.
That's part of
books.
That's literally his job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So no one's skimming, well, Abbott's on the job, probably.
Okay.
Unless it's Abbott.
Unless it's
we don't
Abbott.
know if or no, but he doesn't seem to type. He got convinced to be a true believer.
But,
You wouldn't steal from your church, would you?
so do that, and we got...
And we get, what, 47%? Or is it like 30-something?
You get 32%.
Oh, okay. So, just a little under a third. Which split between 4 people out of, a 70, 80 man company? Ain't bad.
I mean, you're not counting. You have that in just minions.
Oh yeah, it's like, that's not even accounting for all the people freaking Spartacus probably employs and
Yeah,
all the...
Say that number is soldiers. We don't actually know what the full total of like support.
Yeah.
There's 90 soldiers.
Oh, okay.
You have 90 thugs or minions. 10 are for the priesthood, 26 are being trained for being mages, and 53 or 54 are rogues.
We did lose a rogue.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't know
Yeah.
if they get minused out of the roll call.
And then you have Klaus, Hammerstein, and all the other lieutenants. There's
Probably 120 core members.
yeah, about 120 members.
Yeah.
And then there's Spartacus's crew.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And we technically run the extordium too. Those are all direct employees.
Sort of.
And we more or less just say, we are your bosses now, keep doing the job you're doing.
Yeah, it's like that.
Paying for the extordium comes out of what you receive from the extordium.
Yeah.
So it's not something you actually have to worry about.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing all that.
Yeah.
It's like, it's self-sufficient.
Yeah, it runs itself.
Yes.
I have a proposition of what we need to spend money on. I have noticed this is a very large city.
Yep.
There's some sort of item, utility, that would allow instantaneous teleportation between one location and another. Whether, if as rudimentary as getting teleportation circles set up to travel through, or perhaps some sort of runic stone which can be touched and traveled between. Maybe to set something at the church and now our newer property.
Can we set up magical fast travel?
And I kind of put this out towards the group because I'm sure many of the people have been in the city for longer and might know of some things.
Spartacus sits back and goes, doable, but expensive.
It's like, wouldn't you be the one to roll that for us, given your knowledges?
I know it would be a possible thing, but I'm not sure as far as what the availability of equipment and items in this city is.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you'd be able to do it eventually.
Spartacus kind of stops and goes, where? How many and where?
I mean, obviously, if it's an expandable range, that would be ideal, but I mean, even if it's just a 1 point to 1 point, and then we eventually start having one of our buildings have a hub for multiple of them, where you could travel through. But I mean, even if just a 1-to-1 right now to get, say, from the church to our newer properties in the former Blades district.
And you'd want to be able to move through it, like, as many people as often as you would like per day? Or is it just...
That would be preferable.
Okay.
But let's say each had like 4 uses per person.
Spartacus is just kind of leaning back and thinking. He reaches over and grabs Abbot's notepad and starts writing on it. Clearly doing math. Abbot has just given up arguing with them at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes about a minute to do it, and he looks down and goes, be about 15,000 gold per building.
Well, we don't have that sort of money at the moment.
Well, then
Definitely
that is a
future
future investment, and I'm still open if you want to spend money as needed.
What about something for individual travel, like brooms? How much do those cost?
Brooms are
Uncommon, so
they're about 200 a piece. But I'm pretty sure brooms are slower.
Then
they're
instantaneous, yeah.
they're like 60 feet if not encumbered, or 50, I think, but 30 if encumbered. And I don't think any of us would bring it, except for, surprisingly, maybe Mother June. I don't know. I kind of...
Broom flying.
Fit and can fly, has a flying speed of 50 feet and can carry up to 400 pounds, but the flying speed becomes 30 while carrying over 200.
Yeah. I always think of the Doctor as a real thin man, but I don't know about Wolfgang.
I mean, Wolfgang isn't like the malnourished kind of thing, but I mean, he's still fit, well put together.
Yeah, so he's probably.
They're not vastly that different.
Yeah. Because
The visual representation that's closest to just like mini form, it was that kind of look. Just fairly similar looking people. It's not a greatly different.
Yeah, but I still think of a healthy, smaller than American is like 170. I don't know.
Weight is height based.
Yeah. And Americans are abnormally tall. I don't know about this medieval society.
Yeah, the difference here, if you want to do it that way, the doctor was 170 and Wolfgang is 180.
Okay. Yeah.
And, probably skinnier because, 5 inches taller.
Yeah.
Well,
Wait, how tall is Wolfgang?
Wolfgang is 5'11".
And
The doctor was 5'6".
okay, I pictured them larger.
Huge.
Nope, not a
Hulking
particularly tall
beast
man.
of a
No,
man.
not in either way.
I think I'm definitely the tallest person party-wise.
No, it's not me.
It's not these two.
Yep.
And if
He's
that short,
5'11" now.
that puts
And-
me as the tallest person.
I mean, the broom has a 50-foot flying speed.
So-
You can double. Yeah, I'm kind
Yeah.
of doing that. Can you double move on a broom?
Yes. So
was-
Seth Crawford.
Who?
Jeremy Crawford.
Don't
One
know
of
who
the
that is.
designers that answers questions about what their intent was.
Okay.
Obviously, you still have final rule.
Then yeah, sure, we can move twice. I don't care.
So that puts us at individual horses for 200 that can fly. That seems like a good investment.
That should be it can be very well an individual decision.
Yeah, we can afford that kind of stuff out of our own money.
Okay.
If it's just 200.
I mean,
hmm.
you really only going 40 feet around faster, but
But also avoiding roads.
that's true.
That's a pretty useful skill.
Yeah.
And
Of roads and traffic and
and people don't look at you as funny if you're double moving on a flying broom as if you're dashing through the streets.
That's also true.
Mm-hmm.
Double moving on a flying broom is just what you would normally do.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Anyway, so the other things that we need to consider for expenses is I'm still wanting to help Abbot out with his debt, but then the other thing that we need to consider is I guess Abbot or Hannah if she's here, Steve. Steve would actually be the one we probably want, not.
Okay. Well, Abbott, Hannah, Steve, they're all here.
Okay. Well, it's, so we've got access to the deeds to a couple of the Blades places, and we're gonna need those transferred into our names.
Which, given what we went through last time, is forgery.
Yeah, this is some specialty of Hannah's is
Mhm.
being able to.
Get those into the document offices as if they had changed hands already.
Yeah.
Mm. She's like, oh, I think I can help you with that idea.
Right.
And she takes them and looks through them all and goes, okay, give me a few days.
Okay.
Did
So-
you bring all the books home, or are they still over at the?
I have them.
Okay, so I'm guessing those would
Oh,
go to
yeah.
Abbott and Steve.
Yeah, I bet we might have some additional stuff that might help you with the coded books you had been working on.
Do you work in here, or do you have other place you'd rather work?
Oh, I'll work in here.
I start, just in the middle of me, I kind of walk up and I just go to a corner and start stacking out of my portable the books, kind of in order.
As you go through it, he just like looks more and more and more sad. Like, oh man, that's a lot of books.
Yeah, but Mother June keeps talking about paying off your debt, so it should be fine.
What?
As you know.
No. That's a conversation between you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I thought she just brought it up in the meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Abbott
I
would have heard
assume
it.
that you were just talking to each other.
No. I bring it up that for our money expenditures, I'm still wanting to help Abbott with his debt. And, well, the other thing that we have to consider is the expenses of converting, once we get it kind of under our control, that Blade's Bar over into what we would hope to turn into Doomsdayer's new workshop.
That would put Doomsdayer quite a distance away. Gee, that option for teleportation would be mighty nice if...
I don't have to come. These meetings don't involve me. All that. I mean, the tea's nice, but I don't have to come.
Yeah, usually we just put up in an order with him on Monday, and
It's getting my second nicest bunny slippers dirty. Just trudging down the
And
hall.
we could all...
I would enjoy the mansion with sewer entrance to a nearby necromancer's lab.
No, for you?
Yes. And I feel I do have to come. Now, obviously, I don't have to full-time be there at this point. But,
Still, I wouldn't mind you having your own lab.
yes.
mhm.
Sparka just goes, well, with this influx, I figured I'd upgrade travel anyways. So, I could certainly get a couple carriages at your disposal. It's got the room for it.
Uh-huh.
Unless you want to take the broom route, which would be just about as fast. But I imagine you prefer having the ability to move larger quantities
Yeah,
of
I'd
things
still
around.
prefer to be with a carriage would be nicer. It also
I'm
leaves me a little more free if there's someone to guide
Just-
things.
just making assumptions, but secret compartments big enough to hold bodies,
At least one would be nicer.
I'll make it happen.
At
I'd
least
assume one under each seat, if the carriage has the seats facing each other.
Depends on how it's set up.
Yeah, I mean, they're dead. You could just fold it.
I could set up the other side, deliberately not a bench, so that you could travel. You have every reason to go, I just don't have room.
No, there's certainly be times where others would need to come with, so.
Alright.
It's like, I'm still good to stay here. It's like, you would technically have room for other people in the mansion. If someone wanted to,
I would.
move there.
And I wouldn't strictly be opposed to it. Of course, just depending on who they are.
And it's nice that that place has already got a pre-set up vault for us to make use
a
of.
number of things, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Plus whatever hidden compartments she pulled those crystal swords from.
I guess I'll leave you with a couple. You could use a manservant and a maid.
We can determine all that once there. At this point, first step before I really take up residence is to get the papers in order. Wouldn't want to be too presumptuous.
Yeah. Speaking of presumptuous.
Kind of turning towards at least Molly's here. I'm assuming you at least closed up the place when you left
Huh?
after taking care of the ruffians there.
Don't have no door.
Yeah.
Maybe we can try and handle that today at least.
Might be wise.
Spartacus.
Spartacus is just like, what do you mean, don't have no door?
There was a fight. There might also be a bloodstain leading into the house, too, now that I think about it.
What of the
And
cash that
now
we just got?
Steve just goes, what do you mean there's a blood stain?
So I kind of. What of the cash are we splitting amongst us rather than a group fund?
So far we haven't determined what we're spending this money on.
Hannah's over there. Heh. She starts filling stuff out on the deed and goes, who's signing? Steve's like, yep. Steve takes it from her and goes, oh, I've set up a corporation that handles all of the property we've purchased. So I need you to sign. And he goes through these. You just go through and sign them all.
Yeah.
Without getting an answer, I then start pulling out my own pouch and start counting out money. And I count out 100 gold to push towards Spartacus. Send someone to figure out what with the house is damaged and repair enough, clean enough.
You good with the furniture?
As for what's there is fine. Make sure obviously. I'm not sure how much they've destroyed, but if there's no more beds at all, then at least have one. But what's there is fine. Remove anything that's bloody or incriminating, or
I'll see what
and then
I can do.
hire contractors. A nicer door to match like the style of the house, that kind of thing. Yeah.
He's like, okay.
And then also, well, I guess it's not needed to do the key anymore. Well, did the key? But we have keys for the general rooms, so hand those with Spartacus as well, though.
Yeah. Keys at the boss's house.
Yeah.
Do we want Spartacus to handle casing and cleaning out the sorcerer's department, or is that something we wanted to do ourselves?
Well, that place should be still closed up, so...
Yeah, that should have a little more time.
Oh, yeah, time. I just didn't know if we just wanted to hand off the responsibility of Spartacus.
Well...
It's like, we can look at it later. Alright. Now, speaking of which, here you go, Jake. Crystal longsword.
What's it do?
Steals life
that's something
from
we need to
people that
do
you stab.
during this meeting, is identify all the crap we got.
No, that would be a post-meeting thing.
Yeah.
You guys haven't actually identified them yet.
Yeah, and it's like, well, we'll identify that first, but...
Yeah, we'll just shift that around so that after it was identified, you gave it to him.
So yeah, steals people's life and gives it to you.
Because it's not evil at all.
Hey, if it's evil to eat people, I don't want to be not evil.
I would expect that from him.
No. I'm much more civilized.
Do you regularly eat people, Mary?
What? No. Jesus, guys, come on.
Just passively. Nope, that wasn't me who said that at all.
You make a joke and everyone takes it for serious.
It's different when it's magic, you see.
But no, sometimes when you're in a fight, you just suck out the last vestiges of the life essence of a person to bolster your own vitality. Just
Well, that's not eating them. That's stealing essence. That's completely different.
like potato, right?
It's
No,
really,
one of them is flesh. That's.
It's more like potato, tomato.
Just potato.
one's using your actual fleshy mouth to eat their actual fleshy. Magical energy, totally different.
Yeah.
I don't think Spartacus could live with you with that opinion.
But otherwise, split the 9,000 or just throw it all into party funds.
Party funds for now. Because we need to see what's going to be the cost for the housing.
Yeah, it's like we've got a bunch of unknowns for price tags right now.
Yeah.
What was your price tag on your stuff?
5.
The price for housing?
As far as what's actually needed with getting all the properties moved over.
And it's just like, that's done. Yeah, we just have to file it.
Well, we still might have to spend money on fixing up the damage and converting the...
Yeah.
Well, you just threw 100 gold at that, so...
No.
Yeah,
Well, that's damage for the mansion. There was also plenty of damage at
Someone
that
blew up
tavern.
the back of the bar.
Yeah.
We did blow up the back of the bar. The bar was also fireball.
Also, so with that money, also at least board up that back wall. The broken windows.
Sorry, because it goes, what wall?
The one we blew up.
At the tavern.
Also, Doomsayer, we're out of ballast powder.
Doomsayer, did it go well?
It did the job.
You know,
I thought you still had a little left over because we weren't allowed to put all of it in.
you know, I'm a man who makes pride in his work. I'm glad that it was a satisfactory blast.
Yeah. And it's like, definitely got through the wall.
It did. Is there any way to get it into a shape so it's more reliable to blow a hole?
What?
Okay, out of game, I'm trying to ask, can we make the metal shape charges to guarantee, better doorway intrinsic?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's an explosive thing.
Well, yeah.
It's black powder. This is not C4.
I thought if you just put metal on the back to direct the explosion, it would work. But, okay.
I mean...
depending on what you mean and how thick of metal, if you put something maybe strong enough that it won't go one way, but that's building a whole, like, structure around it.
Are you going to put, like, the sovereign glue? You could sovereign glue an adamantine cup to the back of it, and it will just become a cone.
I mean...
It's possible.
It's just making thermite.
But it's not. It's what it's going to do is it's going to be a force, and whoever or whatever's trying to hold that adamantine cup is going to go, woo!
You sovereign glue it.
Yeah, you sovereign glue it to the wall, and then it's stuck there, and it's an adamantine cup.
And then it'll be a cone.
But as soon as... Because it's the first part of the wall it's going to break is right there.
It goes out.
The sovereign glue penetrates all the way. It holds all of the object, not just that first layer of, brick.
Okay.
Listen, if you had a sword and cut through a wall with a natural 20, I wouldn't just leave a perfect slice through the thing. You'd take out part of the wall. We're in fantasy Kentucky. Anything is possible.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so...
If you want to make an adamantine blunderbuss and use blast powder to shoot it, you just have to do a strength check or not be knocked back. It's possible. You can make cone blast powder, if that's what you're asking.
But yeah, if Doomstayer does end up moving there, we can still communicate by message.
Again.
Oh, that's a good point. It's like, given that we'll actually have two bases like that, we could... It's like, I was already thinking about awakening crows, but we could just set up, pigeons between the two.
Two bases like what?
Crows can still carry messages.
True.
Two bases like what?
Like here and the one in there, two permanent buildings in different areas where we could set up carrier pigeons or
We
carrier
already have
crows.
multiple buildings in multiple areas.
Yeah, but I didn't think it would be worthwhile to do it to the horse's head, but I guess it could.
Horse's Head about an hour and a half walk away. The Blade Spar was about 3 hours away
Yeah.
from here.
Mm.
So yeah, definitely for the blades, and it would probably be helpful for the
But
horses.
yeah,
if I start.
eventually, yes, we'll need to set up forward bases.
Mhm.
Yes. But
And
that's
have
again
a non-magical way to communicate.
teleportation options and such. But another thing that might be helpful for you, I think personally,
Mm-hmm.
under the Horse's Head district, we've minimal sewer mapping. Can you map at least enough to figure out how we can connect? They must connect between the Balanced Blades and the Red Horse district, but we don't know the routes. You've been so proficient with that so far. I mean, shown great skill.
Yeah, it's like, but given we own all the connecting areas, I could also see sending some of Spartacus's people down there. But
I don't know how many he has if we've stretched them thin for the time being.
Yeah.
okay, in that case,
They're more available now than they were before, and I just had an entire new district to populate.
yeah, it's like I could see until we learn who the other people of influence in the Balanced Blade district are. Spend my time either on that or setting up birds communications and future endeavors.
Of course, you can set things at the priority you wish, but at some point it would be nice if I knew a proper route to move corpses underground.
Oh,
Some sort of
that,
secret underground corpse railroad. I need to smuggle corpses from one area to another.
if
Smart goes, I have to set up rails.
Do we have railroads?
Some metaphor.
I have to set up metaphorical rails.
No, I'll take care of that.
Excellent.
but I suppose that's another idea. If you're also working on getting birds to act as kind of our above ground, you might want to also pick up some
Rats and stuff.
Yeah, something like that for below ground.
Okay. Or some other cleaner subtraining animal
No.
Spartacus.
And
No,
go,
that's a silly idea.
go with what's common. And rats can be cleanly.
Do you dislike...
The doctor points out that Howl could make little vests for them to carry notes in.
Well, it wouldn't be a little faster. It would be a little zoot suits with pockets.
Is that
And little tiny
Monty's
hats.
just starts like clapping wildly.
Fortunately, he thinks that's as ridiculous as me, but
I don't know. I seemed happy to make mine. And is that where you got yours, Molly?
I mean, of course. I've got like
no, I
seven.
was talking about the doctor. I don't know what Howl thinks.
I also wanted to give Molly some money so she can replace her hat.
You're a good boss.
You're a good lieutenant.
She's currently wearing like a mint green zoot suit since her black and pink reversible one got damaged.
Mm-hmm.
tragic? A tragedy for all involved.
This is Nick's fault. Don't look at me. Nick started this whole
You know
zoot
what?
suit nonsense.
It could have died with Nick.
No,
No,
Molly
no,
was
it really
already
couldn't.
doing it before, he died, so. As for... Would me learning the cartography skill actually help me with all my sewer mapping?
I mean, yeah.
Would it speed it up, or... I've been doing it untrained, for now. Would it actually give me noticeable bonuses if I trained that as a proficiency?
I mean, it would speed it up. Certainly, it would make it so that you wouldn't get lost on a failed. It would make it so that when you failed, also, that it would lower the DCs because I make you roll, so it would lower both the total DC you needed and also the DC you needed to meet in order for any of those numbers to be added.
And I guess
So, in short, yes.
my other question is, because I've done it before, how long would I think gaining proficient... Well, is gaining proficiency different from gaining a skill proficiency?
It's a tool proficiency, so...
Okay. Just trying, it's like, this seems like something I end up doing a lot. It might be worthwhile long run.
It would also allow you to add your proficiency bonus.
Yeah.
Which means that I've been making you roll survival checks for mapping when I should have made you do it without that.
Yeah. I knew...
So thank you for pointing it out.
Well, the
Now
difference would
going
be
to
it's a
harder.
higher DC as a survival check. It would still get proficiency bonus. It would be a lower DC as a cartography check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you want to go and find Zim.
It was a joke in
Hey,
one
man,
area.
The man did good work. We want it back.
He gone.
Moved on to other cities.
Him,
making
Jenny, and Forrest formed a throuple and they live elsewhere.
Forrest seducing Zim with his evil ways.
Yeah, for now I'll keep with survival, but I will, if we have a bigger chunk of downtime, switch it up.
Spartacus goes, now, I don't know who needs to hear this, but we were talking about teleportation for movement.
Mhm.
I would like to point out an airship's only about 25,000.
How fast is an airship?
Oh, we could make it across the entire city in about an hour, maybe half of that.
Certainly more conspicuous, but
How many people can fit on an airship?
How many airships
About
do we see?
200. You don't see all that many outside of like, it's kind of like having a bus for your.
Are you allowed to have one inside the city?
Also,
See, Steve's like, allowed is an interesting term.
Are you allowed to like park it on the street and such?
Or just hover it over one of your buildings of residence.
They have basically elevators. It lowers supplies up and down, but there's a lot of like larger corporations and distribution centers use them all the time. I mean, you can get a party airship to rent and just go scoot around the sky for hours as like a thing.
how much did you say it was?
It is 20 to 25,000
Mm.
for an airship. It can hold up to.
we need a lot more control of the city before we would do such a thing, as it would be a very instantaneous way for anyone who wanted to track where we currently had gone to.
Are there cheaper or faster, smaller versions?
There's smaller versions. They are not cheaper.
But they are faster.
Yes.
Teleportation is...
Instant, but
I mean, they're not very popular here because the horse people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys are aware, like, in other cities, especially
They're not
around
Kentucky.
where you guys came from,
yeah.
there's this, it's like, airship races are a big deal,
Oh, okay.
where they go through, like, mountainous terrains, or they go through rings.
Pod races are a thing.
Yeah, basically. Now that's what I call airship racing, but they do, like, long-distance ship racing and stuff like that.
So theoretically possible to get like a 5-person one that just books it.
You could probably get a 5-person one that moves 300 to 400 feet a turn.
Wow.
Can we equip it with missiles?
Whoa.
At that speed, it is the missile.
Bam!
Well, at least besides all the magical doodads and
I mean,
crap
if
we
you-
have, there's something more for our economy.
But like you guys, as your characters would actually, your character probably the least familiar. Your guys' would probably be a lot more. Yes, you could. It would probably cost 150 to 200,000 gold to make an airship of that speed.
So it's pretty hard to do.
Are they all blimp based, or do they use other magic?
It's
to float?
magic.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's magic.
Hey, Peach me.
Peach.
You...
Have the perk.
Just looking.
Look at how far from my teleportation options I actually am.
I believe
Level
circle's 5.
5.
Yeah.
So
Circle's 5.
at least 3 more levels.
Yeah, you gotta hit level 9 before you can do them yourself, and then making them permanent takes time.
And cash.
But I imagine that there is a version I can learn that would not take so much time that is utility. Because it means a rare utility. So...
But that also means you gotta be real careful when you're moving troops through.
Because the god of nope, well, that's an army. Nope.
Yeah, pretty much.
Versus, that's just cargo. That's fine.
You're not quite sure how it works per se.
Because we know there's a teleportation circle and the utility version of a teleportation
Yes, and
circle.
what you do know about the utility version of teleportation circles, yes, it's cheaper. They usually move the farm implements separately.
Now, that is picky. It's like, no
Yeah.
overly sharp things to go with you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, people will start saying things like, well, axes are for cutting down trees. It doesn't matter if they're designed a little differently.
Yep, about 20,000 to permanency a teleport circle because of how often you have to cast it. And it consumes materials every time.
And you have to be there every day for a year or it breaks.
Yep. Yeah, 50 gold a day for 365 days.
On both ends?
No, well, the circle itself becomes permanent, and and you can tag it into a network if you know enough runes.
Oh, yeah.
Because you just need to know what the keys are for the teleport.
Yeah, then you can
So,
use
yeah.
teleportate. You can cast teleport circle where you are and appear at the permanent.
Yeah. So we'd have to set up a hub, but we wouldn't have a back and forth. We'd still have to walk to one end. Unless we did it at both places.
Well, yeah, we would set up 2 so you could go back.
Mm-hmm. So 40,000.
It's like establishing a teleport landline. As
And
long
it-
as you know the number, you can go there.
And what Spartacus had quoted, was that more of that, or was that more of like a stone that at a later point, if we wanted to move one of them, we could?
16,000 would be an installation in the building that would be a to and fro. So you can set up a network where, so it would be 32,000 for 2 buildings, and you could walk back and forth between the both of them at will as often as you would like.
It was 15,000.
Oh,
first
50,000?
quote. Yeah.
Did I write it down wrong?
That
Listen, I got fat fingers.
that's
I wrote
what-
it down wrong.
Yeah, that was what was first quoted.
I wrote it down wrong, I got fat fingers.
Yeah.
And would that be the utility version of that, which wouldn't
Yes.
allow weapons or anything to go with you?
Well, you can carry weapons, but if you go through there with the intent of using it to travel and harm people, it becomes an issue. Because that would be facilitating travel for combat, which would then run into your nope issue.
So,
All right, Gabe. We got a party for you to go to. Be ready to party.
It's a big
Be ready to party. By the way, it's not actually a party.
as we tell them, as we get...
Yeah.
They walk through and they just like run into a wall. Because we're going to a fight, weren't we?
And also,
Can't
we
trick our
wouldn't
way
be
out
able
of it.
to, fast transport exploding powder or poisons or any of other his stuff unless we start...
It's
I don't-
installed in the building. You're blowing up your own building.
Yeah,
I don't know. Would drugs be considered harmful enough to be stopped by that for logistics?
You want to try?
Now, it depends on what the goal
You
is.
have to remember, most of the drugs here are illegal.
True.
What if you're importing enough of a material to stabilize the local markets, creating, economic warfare?
Listen,
That's still
if
utility.
you feel like doing that,
That's not combat. That's utility. That's
Yeah.
that's.
Does that count?
No. That
listen, I made a highly magical world. The caveat for the highly magical world is don't abuse the fun shit I put in there.
Yeah.
But it
People-
exists.
People have been around utility magic enough to know these caveats. Like, no, it's very intent-based.
Yeah.
Yes, you can pay the more expensive price so that you can do all the ill-intended shit you want to do.
Yeah, I'd say if we were to set up teleportation, we should just pay the higher price because we're gonna run into situations.
Mm-hmm. And are there...
Because that's, like...
That's if you're casting it yourself. What about wizards? You could just pay to install that. Would it be astronomical for them casting a 5th level spell daily?
It would probably have to be some nature of 9th level spell.
Yeah, is there a means of actually like doing quick permanency?
Yes, there is. It is expensive.
No.
Okay.
So it would make it so you wouldn't have to cast it every single day, but the price would be about the same. But you would just be paying that one guy an
Well,
astronomical amount of money.
like for a Raised Dead, which is a 5th level spell, had a component cost of like 500, but it cost us 5,000. I didn't know if it would be like a 10 times, so like 200,000, or no, 400,000 gold.
For him, or for the people who do that,
Mm-hmm.
it would probably cost you 40,000 per building.
So at cost? Oh,
That's
double cost. Yeah, sorry. 40,000 was for 2 buildings. If you
It
did
was
yourself.
32,000 for 2, or 30,000 for
It was
2
30,000 for 2 utility versions.
Yeah, that's a utility. I was talking about permanenting a actual.
buildings. Yes,
And I think
that would be a teleportation circle permanency that you're asking to do in one day, which means that everyone has to cast teleport to appear at that circle. They have to use the teleportation circle.
Oh yeah, people would still have to cast. There's no trigger for that.
Yeah, and it's like the version that whatever he quoted would probably be better because it's essentially whenever you like on-demand teleportation versus teleport circles where you have to cast the
Spell.
spell in order to actually use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the on-demand teleportation would be just you walk through a circle like a doorway and appear
Like
in
a
the
gate.
next place. Yeah.
It's a portal.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess my only other question is if you, for whatever reason, do have ill intent, what's the backlash of that? Just running into a wall or permanently not being able to use utility magic items again?
From what you understand, it just breaks the item. If you're casting utility magic and you cast it in such a manner that you get stripped of all utility. You can't cast utility anymore.
Okay, so unlike a lot of stuff, that seems way more fragile given its intent basis.
Get somebody to cast utility magic, but then trick them at the last moment to have really angry thoughts.
I'm so mad.
Listen, I get that there's a huge plot hole in it. I just want to have fun. Would you stop?
Yeah, no,
I
that's
like
fine.
the idea of torturing people whose entire career is based on the type of magic so that they can't never have that magic again.
No.
There's
No,
still
I'm more
high-level casters.
Yeah, I'm more worried about us accidentally doing something and wasting 30,000 gold.
Which is why we wouldn't get the utility version, because we know we're going to be doing combat stuff.
Yeah. Hence the thinking of the actual teleportation circle. But that also has the caveat of needing teleport, the spell,
So
or teleport circle.
that
we're not
is
quite
something
there.
that we don't currently have the money, so it's
Yeah.
up to the future. We
In that case, given what we want, Spartacus probably is right. It would be cheaper to get the airship.
The airship doesn't solve the thing, though.
Yeah, my thing...
If there's a giant
The
beacon wherever we are,
airship moves a little bit faster than carriage speeds
Mhm.
for most of it, but it can go faster in between districts. So you could move large amounts of goods or people
I know you
pretty
would-
much anywhere.
You'd have the force for doing regular stuff, not operation stuff.
Yeah.
But it can also do things like
Our normal operation stuff, and have a belly full of boys that get dropped off with
I
it.
mean, if we were going kind of that route, we didn't want to have the airship, we'd essentially be building a subway in the sewers.
That's true. We could just lay rail down in the sewers.
Yeah.
As we're back to
That-
Spartacus.
that was a metaphor.
Well,
Yeah,
We could
the
just
only problem
lay
is
actual
Spartacus is
rail.
just over there looking at you. Goes, you see why I was worried?
Yeah.
We
The
just
only
lay
problem with
actual
that
rails.
is the city actually does go down there and check that stuff. They would probably notice a railway system set up in their sewers.
not if we keep it as hidden as the undead in a bunch of pop out holes.
Yeah, and to be you'd have a rail on the ceiling, and you'd have a hook that scoots along it.
What, like Skyhook? From,
Yeah, like a
Bioshock?
skyhook. Because nobody looks up.
It's a tunnel, dude.
Yeah, just wing.
They're walking down the tunnel.
Yeah, not
They
looking
don't.
up.
Them looking forward will see it.
No.
It's only a
That's
10-foot
not how
tunnel.
That's not how that works. They have to look up.
But anyway, it's like if
Transportation for a later date. I'm going to get a broom.
As far as an immediate access to have people in a further location still communicate with a meeting, what about some sort of arcane mirror or something that would allow, like a pair, something similar to our stones that allow a brief comment,
So,
but to allow
A mirror? Or a mirror?
like a mirror.
Like a mirror?
Yeah.
Gotta watch
I don't
those
know if he
mirrors.
was there for that portion of that.
You gotta watch
No,
those mirrors,
but
man.
David's gonna get
they,
the joke.
They get in the way. You think a communicator mirror magically imbued to let you telephone people is pretty small and portable, but you'd be wrong. Those things are huge.
Full length mirror on the wall size
they
mirror.
are not portable at all.
Well, I am actually thinking probably full size, because the goal would be if, say, we have a second, a remote site where we have one that's here and one that's at the mansion, and we have it where
would you like? So you basically want a scrying thing,
Mm-hmm.
like a Zoom meeting. Here,
I want a Zoom meeting. Yes.
Which is just 2 scry sensors created for each individual mirror and sort of attached to the other.
it would probably be like a crystal ball in the middle of the room,
Mm-hmm.
and just hologram people in the
Like Star Wars. Yes.
Just flickering and blue and tiny.
No, the holograms are perfect.
Oh, okay.
Superior to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Those are tech. This is magic.
Yeah. But it's like there's
Would that be
probably-
notably cheaper?
Then the mirror?
Well, either way, like then the teleportation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's just a scrying. That's a permanency scrying. 2 permanency scrying things with a. That's super cheap. That's a level 2, level 3 spell.
Scrying is like 4, isn't it? Or 5?
Scrying? Scrying's like 5. Yeah, 5.
Okay, well it's not as cool. So
Is there anyone that's just a remote looker that's not scrying?
Clairvoyance.
Clairvoyance?
Arcane Eye.
Arcane Eye, yeah.
yeah, they would probably be.
Which is like 4 and 5.
Which are still up there.
Yes.
Because
And if he needs time to look into it, like I don't need an immediate answer. I'm just trying to figure out because ultimately my immediate problem with it
it's
is if I am
I was
remote
third and
basing over
fourth.
there.
Yeah. 3 and 4 for Clairvoyance and Arcane Eye.
What's clairvoyance do?
Look in that direction up to 1 mile, 10-minute casting time.
So yeah, it would basically be like a $5,000 gold scrying crystal that would be usable for 3 hours a day. And that would be for the pair. Would be 5,000.
Okay.
Can we get the deal like we have with the stones, where we can get multiple tied in?
Yeah, it would just be 2,500 per building per site.
And heck, if we ever get enough cash, they could replace our stones. They have no word limit in the last 3 hours.
Oh, they're
Installed.
stationary.
Ah, okay. I did not know. if
But
you
that's
could
still
take the
not
balls.
necessarily that they can't, for some of the uses of our stones, replace them.
Yeah,
Because some of the uses we've had for them definitely would.
yeah. Being able to have a back and forth
Yeah.
would make that powerful.
So yeah, it's 5,000 for 2 sites, and then it will be 2,500 gold per extra site, and you can go simultaneously between them.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And each one has to have time. So if you have used up all of your time at one site and you have 3,
Mm-hmm.
you can't contact that with the other site that hasn't used any time.
Yeah. So they have 3 hours of time allotted to them.
Yeah, but like if this one used an hour and a half for these 2 buildings, that's his 3 hours, and then they used an hour and a half, they could talk to each other.
Oh, okay.
So like A, B, and C used an hour and a half.
If
B and A, but
could-
A could talk to B for
What
another
if
hour.
what if you have them all 3 going because we're doing the morning meeting in 3 different spots?
It would
Each one just counts its own time, so
each one would be used for an hour. Yeah.
Okay, so it wouldn't double up because it's talking to more people, though.
no, it's just
No.
we're
Okay.
all together, and that way we could also have it where
Yeah.
as we spread out and as we end up more often in different
Locations.
because we're probably going to want to have our direct influence further apart.
Mm-hmm.
We have spots where maybe some of the lieutenants move towards, and again maybe have a meeting room in the area where if it's I'm living in Balance Blades, and
You're in the slums and you're
Mhm.
out the circle or wherever.
and
Okay.
Doomsayer's working at, we make that the bar into his new facility where he would just travel down the street to join the meeting with me.
Yeah, it would also mean that like if Molly's out doing something and she's gonna miss the meeting, she could duck in to one of the meeting rooms and still report.
Okay. Good. Future infrastructure. Lots of...
And that's a more manageable one for probably once we get towards this, like maybe not the immediate thing as like finishing the zone, but definitely fairly soon, yeah.
Yeah, it's like we can probably start ramping up our actual like income here.
And that wouldn't be a utility thing. That would be a you can do and say whatever you want through that shrine.
We can plan combat.
Yes.
Oh, I couldn't hear him. He must have been saying something violent.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's why the individual mirrors failed. Too much toxicity. Person-to-person mirrors just kept blowing up. No one was nice enough to be able to handle a device that you hold in your hand and can talk to other people.
They just get mad and they lose it.
It's because of all the news and stuff on there, just making people angry.
Yep.
You get disconnected from the network.
Some politician winds up throwing something out there and pissing off everyone, and then boom, no more phone. No more mirrors. Ironically, it reflected poorly.
Yes.
Bad luck, man.
So for now, having Spartacus and the boys go take care of the bar and the manor, or mansion over there.
Yep.
Anything else we need to do today? And do we want to start looking for the next power, or shore up stuff and start working towards either the sewer map or the...
We need to look for the next power, because right now there's a void in that zone, because the gang was visible. Very visible there. But it might still be too dangerous for just... I mean, like, if we have some boys like in groups of 3 that can kind of monitor that area, but not just able to walk about on their own, because there's someone else leading things there, and we're not sure what.
In that case, I put myself forward to helping read through the ledgers. If there's another power in that area, the Blades had to have known about it.
Yeah, unless Abbot knows.
I will also point out,
Well, I mean,
those ones are newer, so...
I mean, there's the dancer.
Abbot, I give you a chance now to keep all of your fingers and express this information that you have.
I've told you previously. There's a dancing troupe out there that...
That does sound familiar.
Did he tell us previously?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard that before.
Yeah, remember the troop?
I've been drinking.
Yeah.
Has more tea.
To be fair, I told the doc. I'm sure he just forgot.
Yeah, he's like for that.
Blade spot off, own the guard. There's a troupe of performers, ballet, rustic, river dance kind of music.
And people just love them, or they kick people's heads in?
The name of the leader is Langston Cooper. Heads up the troupe performers, theater area, and is generally safe, and no blades tend to
We have all this information and none of us knew about it.
Not
You didn't know about it. It's in your notes. You didn't know about it.
Yeah, the troupe is on the far north side end of the blade zone.
We even know where they're at!
Yeah.
Bob, thank you. That's great. That's great. That's like Harry Potter level seeding of information that we don't even think's relevant, and then all of a sudden you get back to it, like, oh, wait a minute. I already knew all of this.
Did we learn how they control that area? Like, the Blades didn't go there, but why?
And this was session 48.
Yeah.
Well,
we asked Abbott why the Blades didn't go there. Do you know that? Like,
Oh, they didn't tolerate people interrupting his dance.
Langston Cooper leads dance troupe theater on North End.
Yep, place, name, dance troupe.
we've got it all.
See, I told you it wasn't Abbott's wife.
Well, she doesn't live in that zone.
Yeah, she does.
She does.
Yeah, she lives in the Balanced Blade area.
Well, she works there. We don't know if she lives there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she works there at least.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to tell you that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Abbott's standing right there. It's fine.
So she still could be a key in a different zone.
In that case, I guess get cleaned up and go see a show tonight? If they have one? Well, it is Saturday, church day.
They've got a show.
Oh.
I mean, it might be hard to get tickets, but they're great.
So he doesn't tolerate people interrupting the show. How does he enforce that? Does he have his own boys or guards?
He gets real mad.
So he murders people himself that interrupt his show.
Oh, you leave.
Like he convinces them.
No, he removes them.
I don't know. I feel we can work with this. We just do what the Blaze did. Go up and hey, we're taking over the area. We're not going to mess with yours.
I've never actually been there when it happened because most people are very respectful. It's an excellent show.
Mm-hmm.
But he just trots on over and usually grabs them, and they kind of wind up holding still, and he carries him or drags him out. He will stop the show to remove an interruption.
Did you use the word trot specifically because he was a Minotaur, Centaur, or Satyr? Or just...
What's a Centaur?
The horse people. We've seen them.
Centaur?
The Centaur, yeah. Centaur.
Yeah.
I was like, no,
Please forgive her speech impediment.
I was like, no, that's country speak. That's what they're known as down on the farm. That's her story. She's sticking to it.
I mean, yeah, he's a centaur.
Yeah.
A centaur with a position in government. A senator.
The senatorial Congress has met again to talk about feed.
Having not seen the act, met the person, or interacted with them at all, I'm hoping for diplomatic negotiations of continuing, let's each keep about our own way.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Well, I've heard that he's
Which
an
means I
excellent...
need you there.
Yeah, I've heard that he's an excellent performer, so I at least want to see if I could go and join.
They don't like it when people interrupt.
Well, I wouldn't interrupt.
There was a bard that tried to interrupt. I wasn't there, but someone came from the adventure side, and they thought they could be part of it. He doesn't appreciate it. It's a rhetorical show. You're supposed to sit and enjoy it while he does his thing. You don't just go and start talking. It's enthralling. It shouldn't be a problem. Just, I don't want him mad.
I don't know. Can we just send him mail to ask him? If it's enthralling like you're enthralling, it could be magical.
Probably.
I mean, I'm pretty resistant to that kind of thing.
But yeah, like you said.
We all can have our bad times. Even I'm hesitant, given that point, to go.
I mean, I guess magic makes words complicated. I didn't mean it.
So yeah, but send you guys over there tonight, or
Well, we
whatever.
don't want to interrupt the show.
Right.
So
I foresee things going well if we go and try to have a word in advance.
Do you know if he has a show every night, or does he have a day off, like Sunday?
I'm not apprised to his schedule. I could go out there and check. I mean, you guys, I could just go to the show.
No.
You have, of course, church and then books to get to with Mary here.
In bed.
So yeah, it's like that was a lot. So I'll break up the meeting for your thing, and I'll start
Now, it's like I need to get
for
to
church.
I have time to at least identify one of these things while you're doing that, and then we should go together. I see things going well.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll help you identify everything, then start going through books.
If you're not aware, I am carrying a 20 for today.
Bully the check.
I'm like,
bully the check.
Nope, he foresaw it.
Yeah, that's not bullying.
The check was actually really, really easy.
Yeah, you don't even have to use enhance with a 20 waiting.
Yeah, it's at the Charismatic Cloth is the name of the hall. It's his building. That's my understanding.
that's their performance hall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Once you beat books solid, you can't get any from scalpers. Have to waste 20. Can't see them today.
That's kind of why I want to go before the show.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad we're finally here.
Mm-hmm. Here's an NPC I've been waiting to show y'all.
He's one of my favorites.
As we all heard his name, heard where he lives, then immediately forgot about him forever.
That's okay. There's a couple things like that.
That we've just glossed over.
Yeah.
You got a grease spell in the middle of a performance.
This is when we were still trying to get like the extordium, like that. This is when we got that all negotiated.
Mm.
Other stuff was going on at the time.
There's been a few things that just kind of went, well, I guess we'll talk about that after the game's over.
Okay. Do an identification. Did we actually identify all the stuff you gave us last time? Like you just...
It's identified.
Yeah, I didn't remember if you told us everything.
I showed Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah, that was all after session. So let's also go over what it is then,
Sure.
because I also wasn't paying attention.
Some crystal swords, a ring.
Yeah, but I remember this time. I don't remember what it did.
We don't. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. It's like, had he actually given us the description of what it does? Yeah.
Well, if you're looking at it going, where is it? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's in my other notes. So there's 2 crystal swords, one long, one short. It's a standard sword, requires attunement. It's a D8 slashing, versatile for the long sword. It has 3 charges when you expend that. 1d3 as it recharges at dawn. When you hit a creature with an attack roll with the sword, you expend 1 charge to regain a number of hit points equal to the radiant damage the sword dealt. When you're holding the sword, you can use a bonus action to shed 30-foot radius dim light with bright light, 30-foot dim, and or you can cause it to do just 10 feet of radius of dim light, or you can use the bonus action to douse the light. It is in D&D Beyond. It's just a crystal sword, so it's a long sword and a short sword.
Do they not do normal slashing, just all radiant?
No, they do slashing, and then you can expend a charge to do an extra D8 radiant.
There it is. It's like you regain life equal to the radiant damage dealt. I didn't hear where it was dealt.
One of the rings is a ring of free action. Requires attunement. While you wear this ring, difficult terrain costs you no extra movement. You can't have your speed reduced or be paralyzed or restrained.
So
by magic.
yeah.
Oh, what is that? The ring of?
Free action.
Okay.
And then the wand that you received was a wand of paralysis. So it has 7 charges. You expend a charge. You can paralyze someone within 15 feet of you with a DC 15 con save. Otherwise, they're paralyzed for 1 minute. They repeat the save at the end of every turn. It also is in the D&D Beyond. It regains 1d6 plus 1 expended charges at dawn. If you use the last charge, roll a d20 on a 1, it explodes.
Yeah.
That had 6 or 5 charges.
7.
7.
So neither.
Somehow neither.
Yeah, so you have a crystal longsword, crystal short sword, ring of free action, and wand of paralysis. And the crystal longsword you already gave to Jake. So yeah, have fun with that.
So Jake has the
Vault bronze.
Yeah, bronze and
breast, full plate. Because they make different ones, and his is a full plate.
Mm-hmm.
So his AC is the same as yours.
And he's got a shield.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's got a sword.
Yes. But the
So-
shield's just a shield.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a regular.
So his AC is higher than mine.
Yes, by 2.
I don't know. Aren't you pulling down an 18 also, or are you
I'm
17?
19.
No.
I got a +2 armor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that stuff was very rare.
Yeah, it was the head of the gang. It would have helped him out a gret deal if he
Was
wore
wearing it.
Yeah, wasn't sleeping when he got murdered horrendously.
Yeah, because more pluses on armor is super powerful.
It's pretty good.
versus what, your 10 and your...
Yeah, 13 when I mage armor, which most of the time when going into combat now, I'm able to expend a slot for mage armor.
17.
And you're 17 because you have max dex too.
Yep. And basic armor.
Mm-hmm.
Basic,
Well,
non-magical
your
armor.
AC is just 18.
Yeah.
Which is great
Yeah.
for your animals.
Mm-hmm. Hell, it's great for just a regular druid, even in... Like, I have +1 dex, so I could never get up to that.
Yeah, it's not easy for druids to get decent AC without something like that.
Okay, so you guys have gear to split up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the Freedom's attunement?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, for me then. Because I think it would be Mother or Mary. Because you're all full up already, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. I have one, let me see, that I can get rid of, but...
Yeah, I have
Not
one
really
slot open, but I'm planning to use that for the staff when I eventually get it.
Mm-hmm.
You're just over here like, I don't want any of that shit.
I mean, hey, the ring's not bad. It's just I can fly.
Yeah.
And it protects against restrained and paralyzed.
A whole person, a whole bunch of spells.
So
like-
what are the things that could make it where you stop and fall from flying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, what does Hideous Laughter technically impose?
Charm.
Oh, just charm.
Pretty sure it's a charmed effect.
While charmed you are, blah, blah, blah. It might be.
Because I didn't know if that... Because it's what?
No, it doesn't list anything.
Become
essential.
incapacitated.
Yeah.
Incapacitated. Yeah, that's not...
Fall prone, becoming incapacitated.
Yeah, that's not restrained or paralyzed. So, yeah.
You're immune if you have less than 4 intelligence.
Oh, that looks like it magically affects speed.
Is incapacitated one that, like, doubles back on restrained?
Can't take turns, can't take actions or reactions.
Ah.
Yeah, but it doesn't say your speed is. It doesn't zero out your speed. Let's
Yeah.
see here. Can't reduce your speed nor cause you to be paralyzed or restrained. So I don't know if it would work because that would reduce their speed.
No, they still have full speed. They just can't
They
take
can't
the
take-
actions to use it. It didn't
They
reduce.
can't take actions or reactions. Nothing about their movement.
Ah,
Yeah, they can
it's
still move.
technically-
They can move around while laughing.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, Hideous Laughter, that doesn't apply. First level spell, totally get wrecked.
Mhm.
Enjoy your rare magical item.
Yeah, it's enchantment. It's compulsion.
Mhm.
It's not actually reducing your speed. It's making you not want to move.
Yeah.
You're making me want to giggle.
Makes you want to laugh.
It makes you want to laugh and fall prone at least that first time.
You're falling so hard. You're laughing so hard.
I'm still taking half your movement
Just
speed.
laughing the hardest.
Yeah, the only way that it affects your speed is it makes you fall prone, which takes half your speed to get up,
Yes. Hilarious.
unless you crawl, which I think is at half movement.
Yeah, so
What?
yeah, either way.
It depends. Do you want to stay prone?
Yeah, it's like, does prone make stuff difficult terrain?
It makes
Nope.
stuff hard, makes you hard to hit.
With
Range
range,
attacks.
Yeah.
you're easier to hit with
You
mana.
know, because if you're prone and crawling through difficult terrain, you'd be at quarter speed.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, identify stuff, start reading books.
Okay.
Do my church day.
So Abbot goes to church,
Yeah.
and you're just left there reading. Are you reading?
We're,
your
we're
books?
identifying first at that point.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, and then you're reading through the books that came from
Yeah.
the Val's Blades.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not the finance books, just like the journals and stuff on who. Yeah.
I get her started with like the more recent, what's
Who's
more
who?
likely to have current relevant information.
Okay, because you got like full catalog of them because you rolled really well.
Yeah, I rolled well, and I have it kind of documented like where they are. Like I have like basically a cover sheet on each.
Okay,
stack.
so you're gonna start on journals
Yeah.
because there is a stack that would be blackmail material.
That would probably go to Steve or something, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, if they finish up the paperwork, Steve's free.
Okay, so Steve starts reading through it. And as you're going through the journals, it's basically a descent into paranoia.
Mm.
And as you're reading, go ahead and give me a insight check.
Sweet, that's wisdom based.
Yeah.
I don't have a train, but at least it's wisdom based. 12.
You're reading through, and like at some point, he starts descending into paranoia. You're not 100% sure why or what happened, but like
Almost like he thought someone was going to sneak in and murder him in his house.
Almost like he had someone that's working directly for him that is not on his side, but that he didn't know that.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
It's like, I know.
that's something that I want to do before I actually leave for church. I go into the room in the Red Horse Inn, and I tell the necromancer that the balance blades, they're
All dead.
yeah, it's like they're no more now.
It just starts going, so I can go live my life.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to. In fact, why don't you come to church first?
He
Have
just
to
like
go.
runs forward and hugs you, starts crying.
Bring him to church.
like if-
Compel him to worship.
Yeah, it's like if you want to stay here, you can work for us, or if you want to leave, you're free to. We're not going to hold you.
I heard
do-
something about a preservation thing.
Yeah, that was something that we're still trying to get our finances in order, but yeah, we want to eventually get it to where we can store people's bodies at the church so that they can be resurrected at later dates.
I'd be interested in working with you on that.
Okay, well, we'd be happy to have you.
Right. I think I'm gonna go.
It's like I'm
He
going to.
picks up his little girl and goes, "You want to go out?" She goes, "The bad man gone?" She goes, "The bad men are gone," and he just kind of walks out.
And it's like, while I'm walking out, and it's like, I'm going to be heading to my church in order to give a service.
Have fun.
See you
Yeah,
later.
can we go to a park?
Follow out invisible. Fire.
Boom! Spikes!
You thought you were safe, but you
It
were
was
not.
too wholesome. Now they're just holy.
Salvation through immolation.
Yeah.
Another one for the pie.
Let's see.
And I was like, yeah, it sucks your daughter died, but it was definitely those balance blades guys.
They're already dead.
Definitely one of them was hanging around looking for an opportunity.
5 flying short swords, just pincushioner. Definitely them.
Yeah, definitely.
These kind of look like they've been put in after the fact, and she's burned like all over.
Hey, what are you, some sort of dead body expert?
They had a sorceress.
And her body never was found.
Yeah, could have been anyone. No body, no death.
So as Steve's going through all this information, he just kind of stops and goes, "I gotta go," and he like picks up a file and goes and walks out with it.
Wait. Who?
Guard captain.
Okay, carry on.
Yeah, those guys are definitely on the pay.
Or at least being blackmailed not to do stuff against the
You just
local
hear,
gang.
"It's the second one," as he's going down the stairs.
Don't think you're off the hook yet. You still have a master. It's just new and improved.
You saved us. More like new management.
New boss, same as the old boss.
Let's be fair. By all accounts, we are really good bosses for a criminal organization. For a legitimate organization, we're pretty good bosses.
You've murdered several people.
But not in our organization. We're taking the lawful evil for our people get all the best in life. Screw everyone else. But ours we take care of.
Welcome to the family.
Yeah. Yeah,
We have-
it is not a fear-based thing. It is...
You want to get made?
No, you droid us to droid us. You don't have to be afraid of us because you're with us.
And we just need to edge out all these competition taking over areas because we need more boys under our employ.
Mhm.
So yeah.
So, more reading, got paranoid.
Yeah, you basically going through It was a bit of a descent into paranoia, and they stop about 3 weeks before he died.
The journals did?
Yeah.
Oh.
He wasn't moving.
Yeah.
We started being more active in the area.
And what were you looking into?
I was helping with the identifying until church is over so that I could go with Mother to visit the
Okay.
charismatic clap.
Clop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
Clop, clop, clop.
I just can't read my own writing.
The
Understandable.
charismatic clap is a venereal disease.
Definitely magical in nature.
Let me correct my writing.
Man, there would be magical nonsense like that, wouldn't there?
There's magical everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
Good with the bad.
I'm sure Forrest had experience with that.
Poor Jenna. She died of the
Charismatic clap.
He died on a Tuesday. He's so smart. He ain't like me at all.
No, I'm trying to think. It's like, did you mention that the druids preside cured diseases? Like, they pay them to come by and hit all the girls? I
Oh,
forget
yeah.
Use utility magic, teleport object, and send Forrest a box of chocolates.
I never knew what I was going to get.
Let's not use utility magic to send Forrest a box of chocolates.
Let's
I know
just-
exactly what
It
Forrest
is
is
like-
going to get.
It is a relatively safe bet if it shows up with a specific shade of yellow poof. It's like, that's utility magic transportation. This is fine. Can't be bad, otherwise I would have made it.
Okay.
What levels do you get the nightmares with? Or
5.
5?
I'm pretty sure.
What?
Of when you can just designate a person and
Oh,
say,
dream?
Yeah.
5.
That's dream. That's not nightmare.
You can give people nightmares with dream.
Yes, but
they
that's
get a
not what
save.
it
But they
is.
get a save then.
Yeah.
They don't get a save for you just showing up and haunting their dreams. They only get a save if you actually haunt them and cause damage.
just show up way out of every dream, every night.
No, remember, one of the consequences of the no save version of the spell is they recall what happened in the dream perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Show up like, you about to finish, bud? Every time!
You could just put it. You could put anything you want in there, as long as you don't trigger the damage. You don't trigger a save.
Oh, you can deal psychic damage with it, therefore
Yeah.
you can just sit there and badmouth them all night during
Yeah.
the dream.
There's an option. You can turn into nightmarish things, and they gotta get a save or take damage.
Oh yeah, no damage, just talking.
But yeah, just sitting there and showing up in their dreams, they can't stop it. There's no save.
But there's also an option that you interrupt their sleep, so it makes it to where they don't get full night rests.
Yep. That's the offensive measures. But yeah, as soon as you do that, you trigger a save,
Mhm.
and they can get out of it.
I don't know, just if we ever had the actual castable version of message, just, hey Forrest, we're coming for you.
Hey, Forrest,
No.
coming for you.
No.
That would give a
We
warning?
give the dreams to Jenny, and we turn Jenny against Forrest, so Jenny kills Forrest.
Obviously. You think he's on your side, Jenny? He's not. He's working for us.
He's one of our men.
Okay, so you guys are headed off to Charismatic Clock.
Yes, eventually. Yes.
Post church.
Yeah, after church.
Yeah.
And is there anything relevant to church, or just
No,
you
not
need to
really,
roll?
Just for how much donations I get.
Yeah. Roll for donation.
It's been a while since you've had a normal church service.
Yeah. You got a 13, so that gives me a 24.
Just a nice, noticeable plus 11.
No, 12. 12 gold.
Okay. Yay. I'm gonna use this money in order to either buy people more gowns or hold parties.
You could buy some cookies.
Yeah, we could buy cookies.
Okay, so that's your church service, and I don't want to rush through the Charismatic Clock, but that's primarily...
Well, we can say, does
no,
Mary do anything?
No, Mary sits in the bar and drinks.
Yeah, I'm sleeping.
After I finish his journal, I'll go out to buy a broom. That'll take me a while to get there.
Okay.
I will, in fact,
We
not
will
take
take
the carriage.
Yeah, we're taking the carriage.
Yeah.
I was like, you can afford a broom?
Mm-hmm. They have like 400 gold. And I have 496. It's only 200.
Mm-hmm. Maribel goes and buys a flying broom.
A flying broom.
It's like we don't all have nightmares we can ride around anywhere if we wanted.
I'll have that like once a week.
Oh, once a week. Okay.
Yeah, so as you wander off to get a flying broom and you step into your carriage and start the travel, we'll pick up there next time. Like, comment, subscribe, stick around, check out other things on the channel. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and come back and join us again. Bye-bye.